I just wanted to make a little quick video. Something really has been speaking out to me over this last week. A lot of you guys don't really know my backstory, and I'm gonna give a quick backstory. I mean, you guys somewhat see me, know a little bit about me. You know some things like I like chickens and what I drive, like camping, got campers, things like that. But I didn't always have all that, and it's not even a lot of stuff by no means. It's not even expensive stuff, it's not fancy stuff, but I didn't have any of this stuff for the longest time. I grew up poor, like a lot of people do. I grew up in a broken home. I had a father who really truly didn't want anything to do with me. I had two older brothers. Since they were older, they were required to somewhat look after me for a little bit. But once they hit certain ages, as a lot of people do, they no longer want anything to do with the younger siblings. So for a good 5 years, I was literally taking care of myself. I had a mother, but once I hit that age where I could start taking care of myself, that kind of fizzled out too. So a young man trying to grow up, didn't really have anything, had to figure it out by yourself. It's kind of hard to do, but the reason I'm saying this, I'll get to that point in a second. So like I said, I came from a broken home. Father didn't want anything to do with me. I think I've seen him my whole life. I think I've seen him probably less than 20 times, and I'm 35 years old. He lives 10 miles down the road, doesn't even want anything to do. But life goes on. I've been in situations where I literally did not know where I was going to sleep that night. I've slept on couches, I've slept on floors, I've slept wherever I could just sleep. There's days I didn't know what I was going to eat. I was lucky if I had a pack of crackers to eat for the entire day. Almost dropped out of high school plenty of times, just so I could, get a decent job, but thankfully I had someone at school to keep pushing me. Bought my own car. I had about $2,000. Yeah, $2,000. Bought that. Worked 2 jobs to keep the gas in it and pay the insurance for it. After I got out of high school, I worked at a factory for quite some time. That's never fun, but I had to do it. Throughout my childhood, I was always told I would never amount to anything. Never have anything, never be anything. So that really, really pushed me, and I was depressed, felt bad, thought about ending it. But you learn to keep on. You push, you believe, you push. So we're going to fast forward a little bit. Like I said, I was working at the factory and car wash as well. I worked at a car wash most of my high school time. And that's actually where my wife and I met. She got accepted to go to college in Raleigh. So for the first year, she stayed in a dorm while I worked as much as I could. Since I was a little bit older, I worked as much as I could while she was finishing up the last year of high school and the first year of college. And the reason why is because we wanted to move in together after that first year at the dorm. And I didn't want us to go through what I went through as a child. So like I said, I worked, built up a little bit of money in my bank account, and we got our first apartment. Very run-down apartment in a not the best area, but it was ours, and it worked. It was old and run down, but it was our place, and we turned it into our little home. So fast forward a little more, I got accepted at community college. I mean, anybody can get accepted if you just take that step and just apply for it. Just take that step. So after being told I would never amount to anything, never do anything, I got my first degree, my associate's degree in IT, and that helped me get my first career started. And it's just all these little steps like that to help build you. You take these little steps every day. At that time, they don't seem that significant, but over time, they build up. Fast forward a little more, I started getting better jobs, started getting a little bit nicer vehicle finally, one that's a little more reliable. And then we're gonna fast forward a little more. We moved back home to our hometown, and now we were finally able to buy our house. Now some people have probably seen the back of it and think, oh, it's just some cheap little junky house, but no, this is our home. We bought it brand new, our home. We finally have nice vehicles, we finally have a nice home, finally got some nice campers, things like that. And this stuff has been in the 20-something years of making. Like I said, I'm 35, but this whole process has been going for over 20 years, from being told I would never amount to anything to almost ending myself, to building those little steps. And there's another reason I still ain't got to the end of the story yet, but we're getting there. So I got accepted to get my bachelor's degree because I wanted to enhance my IT skills. And I graduated that, so I've got my associates now, my bachelor's now, after being told I would never amount to anything by my whole family and previous people. But I'm not done there. I got accepted into grad school, so now I'm working on my master's. I don't have it yet, but I'm in the process and I'm working on it. So you see all these little steps, man, from being told I'm just a piece of trash to getting my master's degree and taking care of other people. I mean, I help more people out today than I do myself, like just out of kindness. And here's what's really depressing about a lot of this is I no longer talk to pretty much anybody on my side of the family. None. Either they didn't want nothing to do with me, so I just cut connections as I got older and realized that, or they only reached out to me when it benefited them and they always wanted to stir trouble. Or how about when my own brother literally called me, this is going to be some vulgar language now, so be prepared. Literally word for word, he called me a fucking piece of shit, and that he would pay me to drive to his house so he can beat my fucking ass into the ground. That's word for word now. That is what my own brother told me over the phone. And this is why he told me this. We were talking on the phone on a Friday night, I'll never forget it. A Friday night. He worked for a while, worked every day, just because, honestly, he didn't want to be home. It was too much work for him to be home and take care of his kids with his wife. And he didn't want to do it. So it was easier for him to work while his wife took care of the kids. That's sad, but you know, that's his choice. So he worked Monday to Saturday, sometimes Sunday if someone called him and asked him, he would say, yeah, I'll take the job, just because he wanted to get away from the house. So he did that for a few months, maybe even up to a year. And his son's birthday party, I think it was going to turn 2, was on the Sunday. So now remember, this was Friday night when he called. Saturday, his wife was going to fix the house up for the birthday party on Sunday. And then Monday, he was going to be gone to another state to help his boss move. Okay? He was going to be gone all week to help his boss move. Not to work, but just to help his boss move. So I told him, I said, I really think you shouldn't take this job Saturday, talking about the next day, and you should help your wife get the house ready for your son's birthday party. That's all it took now. That's all it took was, I thought you should take a day off from work to help your wife get ready for your children's birthday party. And he lost it. He called me literally a fucking piece of shit over and over and over and over. I just sat there, shocked. I had no idea what to say. Not only did he do that, he offered for me to drive to his house, he'd pay it, to drive to his house, which was 25 miles down the road, so it's not like it's that far, but offered to pay for my gas to drive to his house so he can beat my fucking ass into the ground. All because I told him I thought he should take the day off to help his wife. Then he accused me of wanting to be sleeping with her, so adultery, which is something I do not believe in at all, nor did I even have that thought to begin with. But since I was offering that I thought he should help her get ready for the birthday party, he took that as me wanting to be with her somehow. So I let that slide for a few weeks, but it didn't stop there. He was going around behind my back to our mother, who once again was not that great right now, to be honest, and stirring things with her. So I would constantly get text messages from her saying, I can't believe you're sleeping with your brother's wife and things like that. And I was like, what the hell, you know? None of that's true. And I finally got tired of hearing it, so I quit talking to both of them. That's just part of life at this point, unfortunately. But I've realized, though, that they saw how much I've accomplished, and they're feeling sorry and guilty about themselves. Because to be honest with you, neither one of them two are in good situations now, and they put themselves in that spot. I was in a bad situation and I got myself out of it, and they see that. So the moral of the story is, don't let others influence you. Take those steps every day to build yourself. And I still ain't got to the last little bit. The reason this is sticking in my head so much these last couple of weeks is because I recently just paid my truck off. And you guys know it's a Toyota Tundra, or if you don't know, then go back and watch some of my videos and you'll see my truck. And I was at the gas station. I was at Royal Farms. I don't know if you guys know what a Royal Farm is. If you have them in your area, you probably do. If you don't, they're pretty nice gas stations, but they sell like fried chicken inside as well. And it's pretty tasty. It's a little expensive, but it's pretty tasty. I was at a gas station filling up. Now, if you don't know about Tundras, my generation typically has a 38-gallon tank. Now, you figure out how much a gallon of gas is in your area, and then multiply that by 38 gallons, and you'll see how expensive it can be to fill that truck up. So it was on E, and I was sitting there. I was propped up against the truck, filling it up, just listening to it flow in. And I had this gentleman approach me, behind me, very polite, well-mannered. He said, "Excuse me, sir." And I turned around, and I saw an older gentleman, very sad looking down, depressed. And he said, me and my daughter are homeless, living in my car right here. He said, "If you don't believe me, I'd love to show you, just so you know I'm not lying." And I said, "That's okay, I don't need to see." He said, "Is there any chance you can just buy some food to eat? Anything, do anything to help?" I said, "Sir, would you like to go in there and get some fried chicken? Because that's just what they sell in there." He said, "No, sir, I'll just take a cheap burger from McDonald's," because McDonald's was right beside it. And McDonald's is not that good of food. It's cheap, yeah, but it's not that good. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here looking at this gas pump, and it's approaching $100 already. And the man's asking for a $2 cheeseburger. I said, "Sir, how about this?" I said, "I'm about to go right there to Smithfield Chicken and Barbecue." And I said, "I'm about to sit down and eat." I said, "Would you like to have that instead of McDonald's?" And his face just lit up. "Yes, sir. Yes, sir, that sounds fantastic." I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, when I'm done pumping gas," I said, "I'm gonna drive right over there. Just follow me in there and I'll buy you whatever you want." He was so amazed that someone was willing to just help him get a decent meal. So he followed me over there. We parked. We walked in together. He had his daughter with him. She walked in with him. We looked at the menu. I said, "Sir, choose anything you want up there, whatever you want. It does not matter. Just get it." Offered him the big family meal so he could have it, but he chose 2 regular barbecue plates, one for him, one for his daughter. And I said, "Would you like something to drink?" He said, yes. So they got something to drink. I said, "Would you like one of these banana pies up here?" He said no, but he took that meal very graciously and accepted it very humbly. I shook his hand and introduced myself. He did the same. He thanked me, I don't know how many times. Little steps like that will help build someone up that's in a bad situation. You never know what someone's going through. Me being where I came from, I understood on a personal level. So I helped him. And I think that really made that man's day. You never know what someone's going through. And if you're going through a difficult time, things will get better. You just have to believe in yourself and just take that step. It's not going to be instant. It took me 20 years to get out of a hole where I did not even know where I was going to sleep. Car that barely ran. No money, nothing. Ate a pack of crackers. That was my meal for the entire day. To be able to easily put $120 worth of fuel in a truck and then go buy someone else's meal and not hesitate. Offer anything you want. All you gotta do is take that step. And things get bad at times. I mean, like I said, I've been called plenty of bad names, and I think now the reason they did that is because of jealousy, scared, knew that they were not accomplishing anything, so they wanted to bring someone else down to their level. But you can't listen to all that. Take care of yourself. Take that step. And as always, have a good day.